All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're not just going to talk about discipline, we're actually going to build it. Think of it like this: we're drawing up the blueprints for a mental fortress, a structure inside you that can handle anything life throws at it. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's be real for a second. Why does motivation always run out? You know the feeling, right? You get super fired up to start a new habit. You're all in, and then poof, it's gone. It's such a frustrating cycle. But here's a thought. What if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is the system you're using? Now, this idea right here, this changes everything. It's a total game changer. Think about it. It's saying discipline isn't about gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to do stuff. No, it's about being smart and designing your life so that the right choice is the easiest choice, the only choice, really. So before we start building, we've got to clear away some of the rubble. And that starts with tackling this huge myth that's out there. This idea that being disciplined is all about having some kind of superhuman willpower. It sounds good, but honestly, that idea might be the very thing that's holding you back. Yeah, see, here's the thing about willpower. It's not endless. The best way to think about it is like your phone battery. You wake up in the morning, you're at 100%. But every single decision you make, what to eat for breakfast, which email to answer first, how to respond to that annoying text, it drains that battery, bit by bit. So trying to rely on willpower alone to make huge life changes, that's like trying to run a marathon on a phone that's already at 10% battery. It's not going to work. It's not a reliable power source. Okay, so if willpower is the wrong tool for the job, what's the right one? Well, the answer isn't to just try harder or to struggle more. The answer is to design smarter. It's time to stop being a laborer and start being the architect of your own environment. And the foundation, the absolute cornerstone of this whole blueprint, is something called the identity system. This is all about making a fundamental shift, a shift from trying to be a certain way to simply being that way. It's about the core belief you hold about who you are. This is where the real, lasting change actually begins. And you can see the difference right here. It might look small on the screen, but this shift is, well, it's profound. The old way is saying, I'm trying to be a disciplined person. See, it's a struggle. It's an uphill battle every single day. But with the identity system, you just shift it to, I am a disciplined person. It's a statement of fact. You're not fighting yourself anymore. Your actions just start to line up with this new identity you've claimed for yourself. So what does this actually look like in real life? How does a disciplined person act? Well, they build a world around them that supports that identity. The goal is super simple, really. You want to remove the friction, the difficulty for your good habits, and you want to add friction for the bad ones. So you want to run every morning? Okay, put your running shoes right next to your bed. You can't miss them. Want to stop mindlessly scrolling on your phone at night? Simple. Put the phone in a different room before you go to sleep. Make the good stuff easy and the bad stuff hard. All right, so we've got our blueprint. We've established our new identity. Now, it's time to start laying the bricks. It's time to actually build this fortress. And we're not going to do it with some huge, heroic effort. Nope, we're going to do it with small, consistent, daily wins. You know, we always think that real change has to be this big, dramatic moment, like something out of a movie. But that's not how it works. A fortress isn't built in a day. It's built one brick at a time, day after day after day. The truth is, consistency is so much more powerful than intensity. And these tiny little decisions you make every day, those are the bricks that are going to make your new identity rock solid. Let me give you a super practical example of what this looks like. A little morning micro routine. Just 3 tiny actions. I mean, this whole thing takes less than 5 minutes. Step 1, drink a glass of water. Step 2, make your bed. And step 3, just take a second to name an emotion you're feeling. I know, they seem almost ridiculously small, right? But trust me, when you stack them up, their effect is huge. So let's break down why these tiny things are so powerful. Making your bed. That's your first identity win of the day. It's instant proof that you're the kind of person who does what they say they're going to do. Drinking that glass of water literally hydrates your brain and kickstarts your system. And just naming an emotion, that's a tiny little rep of self-awareness. Each one is a small, solid brick, making that identity of I am a person who is in control even stronger. Okay, so every fortress needs its walls, but it also needs a guardian, right? A defense system. This next part is all about protecting our minds from those internal attacks. You know, the impulses and the knee-jerk reactions. This is where we learn to master the gap. So life is just constantly throwing things at us. That's the stimulus. It could be a frustrating email that pops up in your inbox. It could be someone cutting you off in traffic. It could even be an internal thing, like a sudden craving for junk food. These are the triggers. They're the things that happen to us, whether we like it or not. Now here's the secret. Between that trigger, that stimulus, and whatever you do next, your reaction, there's a little space, a pause, a tiny moment in time. This is where your power is, right here, in this gap. This is where you get to choose. And that choice you make in the gap, that determines your response. See, anyone can react. Anyone can just fly off the handle on impulse. But the person who's in control, the guardian of their own mental fortress, they choose their response, deliberately. And that response, that's the one thing in this whole chain of events that you have absolute 100% control over. So how do we actually create that space? How do we make that gap bigger so we have time to think? Well, the simplest, most powerful tool you have is your own breath. The next time you feel that trigger, that stimulus, just do this. Take one deep, deliberate breath. In through your nose and out through your mouth. That one simple action widens the gap. It calms your nervous system down and it gives you the space you need to choose your response instead of just reacting. And honestly, that is the ultimate payoff, because when you can control your reactions, you control your life. This isn't just about not getting angry or avoiding a bag of chips. This is about emotional sovereignty. When you become the master of your reactions, you become the master of your entire life's direction. Okay, let's pull all of these pieces together now. We've got the blueprint, we've got the bricks, and we've got the guardian at the gate. This is your completed fortress of the mind. It's a unified, integrated system for self-mastery. And this table here really lays it all out perfectly. You've got the fortress layers. Your blueprint, that's your identity system, and your action is to design your environment to support it. Then you have the bricks. Those are your micro habits, and your action is to stack those small daily wins. And finally, you have the guardian. That's your emotional sovereignty, and your action is to control your reactions. You can see how each layer builds on and supports the others. And this is so important to get. These are not 3 separate tactics. This isn't a list of tips. It's one single integrated operating system for an indomitable mind. They all work together. Your small wins reinforce your identity. A strong identity makes it way easier to control your reactions. And controlling your reactions gives you the mental clarity to keep building a better environment. It all feeds into itself. It's a powerful loop. So there you have it. The blueprint is drawn. It's ready. The only question left is a simple one. What is the very first brick you're going to lay today?